Right, now according to the instructions, hey, welcome back. Today is a fun one. I'm going to be fitting a raised air intake, or a Safari Snorkel in this case. So most people watching this will know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those who don't, this is the air intake. Obviously the engine needs air, it mixes with fuel, boom, wheels turn. This is where the air comes in. It's a bit low to the ground, but there's nothing wrong with it. A raised air intake takes it from here, where there could be dust and water and things, and raises it up so that the engine can breathe in very dusty environments, or if you need to go through a little bit of water, you have a bit of peace of mind that the engine can still breathe through the snorkel. Now, there are a bunch on the market, right? But I decided to go for the original Safari Snorkel because the other ones are just, it's a bit of plastic that's going to sit on the outside of the car. I think the cheaper ones, which you can get for like $60, are just really cheap plastic. And I know that every time I walk past it, I'm going to be like, oh, I should have been the original Safari. So, it's a bit more. So this was $200. It's the original Safari Snorkel. The build quality is much better for things like this. Stuff you're going to see all the time, stuff that's going to be out in the elements. Kind of just, yeah, I couldn't do cheap on this one. Fitting the Safari Snorkel required some drilling. Yay, my favorite. So I put down some masking tape to make sure I could see the holes clearly when marked and to prevent any other scrapes and scuffs to the wing. The snorkel comes with a cardboard template to show you exactly where and how big to drill the holes, if you line it up correctly. Now, clearly marked, I could remove the factory air duct from inside the wing. It's just 3 screws, and it's much easier to pop the bonnet, or the hood, if you're from the States, and wiggle it out from inside the engine bay. The instructions also state that there is a metal tab which needs to be folded over to allow room for the new air duct from the snorkel. Well, what do I say? This is the part I'm the most nervous about. If you've been paying attention to this channel, you know that I very rarely drill the correct hole in the correct place. So I'm really trusting this template and my skills to implement the template. So here goes. Otherwise, new wing. I'm going to start with a little 3.5mm bit, and then I'll use the step bit to get it up to 15 mils. Do you understand what's happening internally with me right now? It either works, or now I have 3 new holes. Right, now according to the instructions, the next thing to do is to bolt this plate onto the snorkel. Okay, so just 3 little bolts into the snorkel, and then I can line up the bracket on the A-pillar to mark those holes. They've even made it so that the bracket only lines up one way, so you can't really mess it up. Also, the studs need to be inserted so I can line it up with the wing to get the correct location for the A-pillar holes. Yep, it doesn't fit. When the 3 studs are in the freshly drilled holes, the bracket didn't fit flush on the A-pillar, and when I made the bracket fit flush on the A-pillar, it pushed the snorkel off the wing of the car. But I knew the height of the snorkel and the bracket wouldn't change once I figured out what was interfering, so I fitted it as best I could and marked off the holes that needed to be drilled for the bracket. I noticed the bracket didn't offer much in the way of minor adjustment in case the snorkel was slightly out, so I thought I'd remove a bit of it and open up the holes to give me some wiggle room when fitting it. I narrowed it by cutting about 5 mils off of one edge. I tried the grinder, but I hated the sparks, so I switched over to the hacksaw. Then I opened up the holes to give even more room for adjustment, and once I was happy, a quick sand and a couple coats of paint. Now another bit of scary drilling, which needed to be absolutely spot on. This bracket can't even be 1 millimeter out, so I measured and remeasured and eventually committed. Next up, I had to glue in a foam gasket which will sit against the wing of the car. The instructions said to use silicone, but all I had lying around was some black Sikaflex. Now came the task of dealing with the ducting between the snorkel and the air filter box. It's a really tough thing to film, as I'm basically crawling into the Defender's chest and removing its lungs. What I didn't know about my Defender is that the rubber air hoses were in a terrible state. It seems the original ones broke at some point in its life, and one of the previous owners cobbled together all sorts of bits of hoses because it came out in pieces. I couldn't even get to the bit attached to the airbox filter at the bottom, so I ended up having to remove the whole thing. Can I just ask at this moment, does anybody else who has one of these cars start a simple task and then it's always not simple? Or am I just the only one that this happens to every single time? I just wanted to put a snorkel on. Now I'm fixing air hoses and boxes, air boxes, and just mangling brackets to try and make things fit. Does this happen to anyone else? I mean, I'm starting to take this personally. Okay, so the whole thing is out, right? And this is the sort of lungs and ventricles and passageways, and by the looks of things my car was a smoker because it's disgusting and filthy and oily and gross. So I'm going to take it all apart, clean it, and try and put it back together as best I can. But in the future I'm going to replace this whole thing because there's just too many weak points where water and stuff can get in, so it's not a sealed system. But I'm going to take it apart, clean it, do what I can with this mess. This little part is a little T-piece water separator, so it sits like this. Air comes in, sometimes water can come in, and it separates the water which falls down below, and then the air passes over the top. So it's kind of an important thing. But if you want to do wading and, you know, going through deep water, then this kind of needs to be blocked up so it doesn't suck water into the system. So again, following the instructions, which tells you to seal up the rubber valve on the T-trap to create a watertight air intake. So in theory, if you were able to block the snorkel with your hand while the engine was running, it should starve it of air and stall out the motor. But my air hose, or should I say the dozen pieces which made up the air hose, all needed gluing back together in the short term while I order a new one. Yeah, I took the bonnet off all by myself, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but I figured I've got to get these pipes in and let them dry in place because I'm impatient. And as you can probably predict, impatience hardly ever helps the situation. I added a ton of Sikaflex and started to reassemble the rubber tubey puzzle and install it, hoping it would dry in place. Instead, I created a slippery mess and ended up having to use a bunch of zip ties to keep everything in place while it sets. That's the pipe that needs to be in the right place. It goes from underneath the airbox, where I've been gluing down there, and elbows its way over there. Then from that section, that will clamp onto here. Remember the water sort of T-trap? This should go. And then this is like the exterior of the car where it clamps into the snorkel. and then the snorkel should.
And it's at this stage
Cool.
of the video that I'm starting to think I should get checked out
Nice.
for ADHD.
You get the idea.
Now I was finally ready to fit the snorkel to the exterior of the car, bolted in place and fit the final bit of hose. But it just wasn't sitting right against the body, so it was a ton of back and forth, fitting the bracket and then the snorkel, taking it all off again, rejigging it and bolting it back in. I eventually got there, but
Gee, guess what the problem was? One of the holes was in the wrong place. So even when I follow a template from the manufacturer and seemingly line it up perfectly, I don't know what to tell you. I think just you guys are on your own from now. Don't listen to or watch anything that I do. Just do what you're doing, because I can't get it right. I genuinely can't. Now this guy, I don't know what's going to happen.
But it needed to go in and there was only one guy to do it.
Whoa, okay, that's all the piping and ducting and whatever done. Don't believe anyone who says that it's a piece of cake to install a snorkel on my vehicle. So now, the last piece of the puzzle is the most iconic bit of what a snorkel looks like. This guy over here.
A simple rubber gasket goes on first, I guess to stop extra dust or water, or maybe just so that it doesn't rattle. But the problem with rubber is that it's quite grippy, and the snorkel intake just didn't want to go on. So I figured I needed a bit of help.
I'm gonna get some lube.
Just a simple bit of grease to help it along and get it into the correct position. But then, of course, this happened.
No!
Yep, it snapped. But it's not the end of the world, as it'll be clamped, and I can just fill in the gap with a little bit of Sikaflex.
Save the day. So I'll put my frustrations on hold for a second, because it really does look awesome. And it's in. But it's also completely useless because of all the pipes and the ducting from the snorkel to the airbox. I've got to redo all of that. It's a joke. I mean, I wouldn't drive through a puddle with that, because the likelihood of it sucking in some sort of dirt or water is about 100%. So it's cosmetic and not functional at the moment, but I'll fix that in the future. I didn't know that the ducting was in like 8 pieces and glued together with spit and inspiration. So let's get the bonnet back on and we'll have a closer look at it.
But while I had a tidy up, I had a thought.
Actually, I am not going to put the bonnet on right now, because I'm going to take this opportunity while it's off to stick a bit of that Dodo matte sound insulation underneath the inside of the bonnet. So before it rains, I might crack on with that for a few minutes. Dale can do it. He did it. Look at that. It's got a little chimney. I guess got there in the end. Thanks to Safari 4x4. What's it called? Safari Snorkel putting one of the holes in the wrong place. Because you saw I followed that template perfectly. And then putting on the little scoop at the top with not much force. I mean, I'm pretty strong. I just put a bonnet on by myself, but I didn't put that much force on it, and snap, it just cracked. But I'm not too worried. It's this gap in here which I've just filled in with some Sikaflex, and yeah, I am pleased. I mean, the gaps look great for a job that I've done. I'm stoked. This looks good. Well, that's one more piece of the puzzle done. It's one step closer to this being a really good overland rig ready for some adventures. If you enjoy content like this, please do consider subscribing, sharing it with a friend, and I guess we're done for now, and I'll see you on the next one.